Good evening everyone and welcome along to League of Europe. We are here for F1 2021 action. It is Season 6, Division 1, Round 5 of the Championship as we take in the Singapore Grand Prix from the Marina Bay Street Circuit. Not the Yas Marina Circuit as I normally get confused with. But I'm James Head, going to be taking to the stream as always on a Saturday night. And joining me in the comment box it is Mr. Gary Donegan. Gary, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing well, Really looking forward to this race. Last 4 rounds have been absolutely amazing. We might not have as much entertainment as we've had through those rounds here at Singapore. Our track notoriously very difficult to overtake. And yeah, I'm really looking forward. We've got a lot of stewards to go through. We've got a lot of quality bans for people, very important people as well in terms of the championship. And I'll just jump straight into that. We have quality bans for Arcolo, NSX Montana, IFR Jensen, and Jules Bream, who isn't racing tonight. So
he is.
3 guys. Oh, he is racing. Sorry, he is racing. So all those guys will be serving their quality bans tonight, and it's probably the worst track to have a quality ban.
It is probably the worst track to have a qualifying ban because you're going to be so far down the track as well. Yeah, it's going to be a major disadvantage unless the one-stop strategy works and unless there is no safety cars or VSC certainly out on track. And you said that Montana, championship leader, has got a qualifying ban. Connor, of course, took the win last time out. He's 3 points behind his championship rival coming into tonight, and in fact his teammate coming into tonight. It's Montana leading the way on 68 points, Connor in second on 65, with Cantera in third on 45, Rocco fourth on 38, with Verstappen in fifth on 36, dropped points the last 2 rounds, with Justas in sixth on 31, Neo in seventh on 28, Albert in eighth on 17. He also got a 5-second penalty and 3 license points added to his time for the race at Silverstone with an incident there. Matthias in 9th on 12 and Dylan in 10th on 11. We've got a 3-way tie for 11th with Vaporizer, Ruta and Alpha Trix, all separated on that 10 points. Yilbream in 14th on 8 with VRT Daniel in 15th on 7. Yul Melmat, I think, is the one you're getting confused with. He's not here tonight. He's in 16th along with Campbell on 6 points. ERT Lehman 18th on 5 along with M Short, Tom Robbo, Jensen on 21st on 4, Nathan Leonard Doom all on 3, and Izza on 2 points as well. Looking at the constructors as well before we get into qualifying, Mercedes of course absolutely blasting away, I've got to say, with the constructors. 133 points for them. Red Bull are in second on 49 points, but it is quite open further down with Alpine in third on 48, Haas in fourth on 42, Ferrari in 5th on 36, Aston Martin in 6th on 31, AlphaTauri 7th on 23, McLaren and Williams tied for 8th on 12, and Alfa Romeo on 10 points down in the plumb last position currently in terms of the constructors. Before we begin though, of course, today is the 20th anniversary of 9/11, the horrible, I'm going to really mess up my words here if I'm not careful, an absolutely terrible tragedy, changed the world forever. We have to think about all of those who were lost in terms of the tragedy, all of those families who are suffering today, and hopefully everyone is pulling together and being a United States of America is what everyone has to see on the 20th anniversary of 9/11. But I can see we are about to get going, of course, here in Singapore, and a track that is synonymous for walls.
Yes, walls and rain here at Singapore. We don't get much rain here in real life. I think we've only had 1 wet race ever in Singapore, and what a wet race that was. But in the game, it likes to rain here an awful lot, so don't leave that out of the question. Like, rain could have a big impact on this race, especially if it comes on later on in the race, and that will bring us on to strategy as well. What tyres are these people going to qualify on? Soft tyres can probably do a lap in the race before they feel like absolute garbage and you want to just put them in the bin. You might do, or you go onto a set of mediums which will be quicker in the race, but you're going to lose out on that track position in qualifying as they cannot match the soft tyres. So I wonder if we're going to see anyone go onto those soft tyres and go for a bit of a Hail Mary for pole position, get the stat pattern out, get that pole position and try and go from there. I do think majority of the field will qualify on a set of mediums here tonight.
Yeah, I think the guys with a set of qualifying bans will want some divine intervention, I think, out on track in terms of the look that they're going to receive, of course. A track that is riddled, of course, with curbs as well, VSCs and safety cars at a very high premium around here at Singapore. Passe pour du temps, by the way, Relentless Passe, in the comment section saying, Relentless boys make us proud. Good evening to Jav, hope you're doing well. And Montana saying, last 2, I'm going to say 7th.
I wouldn't put it past Montana winning tonight. Honestly, the form he has shown this season has been on another level. I don't think anyone's really got close to him in qualifying, especially. Connor's been up there in the races, but this is a big challenge for him. He needs to. This is Connor's chance. We've talked to him over the last couple of weeks in the podium interviews, and he's been struggling as Jensen's disconnected from the lobby. Hopefully, he can get back in soon. But Connor's been struggling in qualifying a lot this season. That's been his biggest downfall. We know how good he is in the races, but this is a big opportunity now to grab a pole position, or for anyone really. This is wide open now. This qualifying session with no Montana at the front. This is who's going to get pole position. As my game has crashed. That's great.
That's absolutely fantastic. I'm going to fling you over another invite just in case, unless you've got one from Verstappen. But I'll send that over now. So I just go in blue screen for a second. Oh, and I think my game has actually crashed as well. Oh no, it's taking ages to come through. You've got one? Oh, thank goodness for that. On track action though is on at the minute. Nathan is the first man out on track. Of course, Nathan, the current F2 the F2 leader, I should say, in the championship. I'm not privileged to say that I'm actually in the championship in F2, especially about my performance around here in Singapore. I think I hit the wall about 3 or 4 times, ended up with front wing damage. And then, of course, last week I nearly got a podium in Bahrain, which was probably my crowning glory throughout the season in LOE Formula 2. Nathan, though, is the first man out on track, and he has got a history, let's just face it, of spinning out on track. I don't think this is going to be one of his favourite tracks here in Singapore.
I can understand why you say that. I hope he can turn it around. I really do, because he's showing great pace in qualifying. That's the one thing that let him down last season. This season he seems to have figured that out, but now the races seem to be going very pear-shaped for him. So hopefully he can figure this out. This is a race of just pure concentration, pure mental strength. And that's probably something you would argue that Nathan lacks a little bit with those crashes and spins. So let's see how he gets on tonight.
Yeah, let's see how he gets on now, coming through in toward the final couple of corners. Not plagued, by the way, with the 300 views that we had on PSGL last night, but still, we've got 6 of you. Thank you. Nathan coming down in towards turn number 1, and Eclipse cut very nicely through turn 1, through turn 2, and then in towards turn number 3. Track limits, of course, are at a premium. We'll speak about them as we go along throughout this session. But Nathan now coming down in towards turn number 4, through the right-hander, and now down the straight, where the other DRS zone, of course, is out on track. 3 of them, one down the start-finish straight, one down this straight down in towards Memorial Corner, and actually Nathan has backed off 26.4. I'm not surprised that he's backed off, to be honest, but he's backed off very early on in this session on his lap.
Yeah, I think his teammate now, Neo, is going to be on a lap. I don't think... Oh, he gets all that shape of turbo. I don't think we're going to see really any representative lap times here on these soft tires. I don't think anyone's really going to go for a proper lap time. They're all just going to try and get their eye in and see how they do. I'm just trying to catch someone that is actually on a lap. I think Campbell is on a lap at the moment. He's gone purple through the first. I still think my game is kind of glitched right now because it's saying that he hasn't. What's happened?
Nathan crashed, I think, across the Anderson Bridge, if I'm not mistaken. Just saw yellow flags in that sector, and he was round. And he's got no front wing. So yeah, he has been in a collision with the Anderson Bridge. So Nathan has already started with his inevitable bottling.
He's not going to like you for that, but yeah, that's a track where confidence is king here. Having a crash off so early in qualifying is going to really hamper you. It's going to make you think twice about pushing on in the last on board now with Verstappen through the last couple of laps. He is still valid and he's going to cross the line. I wonder if he's going to back off through the final corner. He's going to do a 35.0. He's not using any ERS because he still has 100%. So, like I said, lap times here on these soft tires are not going to be representative at all. It's going to be when they come in or in the second runs or near the end of the session where they're throwing a set of mediums where we're going to start seeing the lap times and seeing what the drivers really can do here in this session.
Yeah, Campbell to the line as well, 34.9. He still had 100% of ERS as well. But I'm actually surprised. Drivers are not out on a set of medium compound tyres. Neo goes there into third position. We should be seeing lap times, if they went full pelt around this lap like Daniel was, we should be seeing lap times probably in and around the 132 mark, 133 mark, somewhere around that. And everyone is off the pace at this moment in time. Alba's just started up on a lap coming down in towards turn number 1 as well. Dylan Rocco. Dylan actually goes to the top for 34.6, more like it, as Rocco Rocco now comes through the final couple of corners as well. There's a McLaren in behind him, which is VRT Daniel. Matthias as well went into 6th with a 47 flat. Rocco goes ahead of him in 5th. Jensen, of course, retires out of the session. Montana also out of the session as well. Both of them have got qualifying bans. And the other two, Yilbream's still in the pit lane there, and Arcolo's still in the pit lane, still haven't came out on track. You would imagine that he'll probably retire from the session. Oh, as Connor has spun, coming on the exit of turn 8.
Oh no, he's lucky that he's still got all his wheels intact. And this is the issue with Connor. He's so good in the races, but in qualifying he cannot put it together. And he still hasn't put a lap in, and he's had a spin. And again, like I was saying with Nathan, this track is pure confidence. If you can get into a route of pure confidence to throw the car around here, you will find chunks and chunks of time. But when he's making mistakes like this, it's really a big issue. I don't know if he's got a problem. He's trying to get out of people's way, I think. That's what's going on there, Yeah, I thought he had like a wheel disconnect or something, but no, he's getting out of the way of a couple of drivers. So, yeah, that's going to put Connor on the back foot here, and he knows how important disqualifying is. He has a great opportunity to take the championship lead off his teammate NSX Montana.
Yeah, he does. Connor obviously down in 18th position. Still only 7 lap times have been set. Connor's actually left the session, so that might be why he was just looking maybe to come and reconnect with something. Who knows? Connor has disconnected from the session. Alba, that's more likely. A 33 flat to Alba. Clearly out to get pole position tonight. Reuter is the same, and actually he comes into the pit lane. Absolutely typical. When I follow a driver, they come into the pits. Kush as well also came into the pit lane in front of him. Cantera, Justas and Yilbream are preparing up 4 laps as well. Yilbream, of course, is at the night lap, probably to get his setup in. I'll run on board with him just to make sure he recognises that he has got a qualifying ban, of course. Still only 8 times on the board. Alba, though, 33 flat, more like it.
Yeah, and I know for a fact Alba can go even quicker on a set of mediums than that time, so we're going to see, as I think we have a spinning. I just saw a car going backwards down the straight. I don't know who that was, but yeah, Alba. I've seen him do 32s on mediums. I think Paul will be like a 6 or a 7 probably on a set of mediums. I think the guys here have really been practicing the medium tires all week long, and they've really found a sweet spot with the medium tires. So they're going to be very comfortable with it. So I'm going to expect it to be extremely close, extremely quick, and I can't wait to actually see some representative lap times. I think Alba's the only one that's really put in a lap, and I know for a fact he can go even quicker on a set of mediums, so I'll be interested to see how the last moments of this qualifying session go. I can't see how long's left because the yellow flag on my top left, but we do have I think about 10 minutes. Yeah, 10 minutes left, so be interested to see how they get on. About 2 runs to go.
Yeah, Cantera's just starting up on a lap, the Spaniard, coming now in towards turn number 4. The right-hander, of course, leading on to the second DRS zone, of course, around here at the Marina Bay Street Circuit. Cantera, though, running now down. This looks more committed in terms of a lap time, so we'll ride on board with this and see what the Spaniard does through the first sector. 26 flat through the first sector. That is bang on where you want to be. Out of turn 7, and then in towards turn number 8, and then in towards, of course, turn 9 before the fearsome Singapore sling, of course. Used to be a chicane back in the early 2010s. But removed for just a curb on the left-hand side, of course. He now comes down into the Singapore sling, takes as much curb as possible, and now runs through the right, and then onto the Anson Bridge, through the left, and then through the right. And this is pretty much a braking zone now. Intra 90-degree hairpin through the left-hander, and now in towards turn number 14 at the end of the third DRS zone around here, of course. The other one being down the start-finish straight. 101.9 through the middle sector from Cantera. He looks very committed unless he backs off in this final sector. Oh, and he's just invalidated. As soon as I say that, he was looking so good, and Cantera invalidates out on the exit of turn 14, which is a point where you can actually pick up an invalidation, as we've just seen with Cantera.
Yeah, I'd be interested if he did that on purpose or not. Like, it's very tricky, that corner. It is very easy, to pick up a penalty or a warning. So maybe he didn't do that with intentions, but let's see how he gets on. Anyway, I wanted to see how he does, what lap time would have been anyway. We're going to be a 33.5, so it would have been a bit off Alba, but still not a terrible lap time. But the guys are now setting on those set of medium tyres, and so it's not going to be too long now till we see them start getting in the lap time. It's a real representative lap time. I think they'll do 2 runs on these mediums, do a lap now, go back into the pits, fuel the car back up again, and go out again, go all out on that final lap. So let's see how they get on when they do eventually get around for that set of medium tyres. It's going to be very interesting to see if people can withstand the pressure of Singapore. It's a bit like Monaco. Lap times don't tend to be as quick as they usually are in practice compared to the actual thing. So let's see what the guys can do.
Yeah, Campbell's trying to get in, by the way, on a set of soft compound tyre. He's around the final corner, the Scotsman to start us off on a lap once again. His teammate Verstappen is behind him coming through the final 2 corners as well. But Campbell through turn 2, invalidates coming out of turn 2. We're not going to get a clean lap in, I don't think, tonight. Through turn 1 with Verstappen, through turn 2, and now through turn 3 with Verstappen. That's more like it from the QVR boys, as Verstappen now runs in towards turn number 4. Through the right-hander, of course, here, and then down the King in towards turn 6, and then, of course, in towards turn 7 at Memorial Corner. There are yellow flags and a bit of traffic ahead of Verstappen as he reaches the end of the first sector. But you can see, well off in terms of the first sector, he's improved by 500th of a second. But we saw with Cantera, 26 flat through the first sector, Verstappen, 26.4, so he's not pushing.
No, he's not. I think Matt is going to be the first driver now that we're going to see on a represented lap time. He's the first driver to set a lap on the medium tire, so let's see what he can do through 1, 2, and 3. The corners just come at you non-stop with this track. It is absolutely relentless here. And now down into 5. 1 second must take a lot of curve on the inside. Can also the car a little bit, but that's the best line. Gives you the best momentum for the straight. Down Boulevard straight and down to Memorial Corner. He's purple already, so like this is going to be the first, obviously, representative of lap time on the board for the whole grid. So let's see how he does through the middle sector, heading up to the Singapore Sling. I wish they brought back the Singapore Sling. That would have made it very interesting on this game with these curves. Wow, that would have been a lot of fun. Where I wanted to take a lot of inside curve here. You want to go over as much as you can. Probably could have gone over a little bit more. Stayed away from the inside curve, and also let the car spin you off. And now down into the tricky hairpin. Doesn't want to take any inside curve there. Can also let the car or lock up, which is no issues for the McLaren driver now. 1:01.5 sector split. That's a pretty good lap so far by the McLaren. Oh, he's invalidated. He's been once again another driver caught out at turn 14. They're all getting a bit caught out there, him and Cantera, and that was a really good lap till then, so definitely might be one to look out for in the final run, I reckon.
Yeah, Rocco invalidated coming through the middle sector as well. 1:05.3, however, through the middle sector, so he wasn't really pushing on his lap. Dylan is on a lap time as well. There is a yellow flag. I think that was Campbell getting out of the way. Sorry, it was Verstappen, in fact, getting out of the way. Campbell is invalidated on his lap as well. Tom Robbo currently in second. He came in with a 34.3. However, Albert, 33 flat at this stage in qualifying. He's now on the run down in towards turn number 6 and then towards turn 7, of course. Memorial Corner. 25.9 through the first sector. He's actually 700th of a second off his first sector, so he must have been absolutely flying on that sort of soft compound side. We have got yellow flags again on the exit of the hairpin at turn 13, but Alba's still coming around on this track and around on these corners down in towards Singapore Sling once again. The left-handed curve now instead of the chicane that was once there. Now through the right-hander, of course the Anderson Bridge really gets close to the wall on the right-hand side, but he is pushing on this lap, Alba. We could see the first 132 of the night. If he really pushes now in towards the middle sector, why is it I always say something and the opposite happens? He's backed off.
You're just jinxing absolutely everyone tonight, James, I have to say. But I think Dylan's going to come across the line now. He's just navigating through the final corner. He goes a bit wide on his Valdain. We are commentators' curves tonight to the absolute maximum. I think every lap we've been on board here tonight has ended up being invalid. This is just ridiculous right now. This is just, I've never seen this before. This is just crazy. Absolutely crazy. I'm trying to find someone who is on a lap. Nathan. I think we've seen a couple of, Nathan on a lap at the moment. First lap on the medium tyres. What can he do? We've seen he had a spin already this qualifying session, so the confidence might be a little bit low for the Aston Martin driver who struggled a little bit this season. Only got 3 points to his name compared to his teammate who's got 28, so a bit one-sided in the Aston Martin garage at the moment. Goes very wide away from that curve. They don't want to touch that at all. It's upsetting the car way too much. Keeps it in second gear, interestingly, at the hairpin. Just tries to get as much traction as he can, and he's hugging the inside or the barrier, just trying to keep as much momentum as possible. And he's purple through the middle sector now. I don't know if he's actually purple through the middle sector or not. Probably isn't. But Cody's like to think he is. But yeah, through the heart of the last sector. And this is where the tyres start to really die off. The rear start to give away. You're sliding out of corners almost. You're just trying to keep the car in a straight line as possible. And then a tricky chicane. You want to take as much curve as you can here, but it will upset the car a little bit. You see the car gets a little bit out of shape, but he held it well. The final corner, he doesn't want to invalidate like Dylan did. No, he stays away from that outside curve. Oh, he close to invalidate. It was a 33.7. That puts him second. But still, no one's matched Alba, and Alba did that time on a set of medium or softs. And if I'm Alba, I'm making sure I get a set of mediums on because I do not want to be starting on softs here tonight.
Yeah, Alvarado on top currently. I think everyone is going to try and up their game, to be honest, on that sort of soft compound tyre. We should see quite a few lap times maybe coming in very soon indeed, but we've already got 3 minutes to go in the session. It's Alvarado on top, it's Nathan in second, it's Ruta in third. The Relentless boys are up there. Jav, take a look, because they're not going to be there towards the end of the session. Nathan in second, Ruta in third, Kush in fourth. And he did say, by the way, could we chat about food and stop jinxing drivers? We may as well not have any commentary on this stream tonight if we keep on jinxing drivers, of course, out of track tonight. Kush, however, has just started up on a lap. He's now coming through in towards turn of 4. 34th lap to his name. We'll see what this first sector, of course, is going to be like. Out of turn 5, and then, of course, down in towards the kink of 6, the flat-out kink of turn 6, and then down in towards turn 7, of course. Alba still out on top. Nathan second, Ruta in third. Don't worry about the yellow flags, just an Aston Martin in the first sector, or in the middle sector. 25.3, however, from Kush. Looking very good so far on his lap as he now comes out of turn 8, in towards turn 9, the corner before the Singapore Sling. I hit the wall, by the way, on the right-hand side there, coming in LOE F2. Not my brightest moment whatsoever. Kush down in towards Singapore Sling. Flies through there, in towards the right-hander just before the Anson Bridge, and then onto the Anson Bridge he comes, through the left-hander, and then through the right, down into the braking zone, pretty much a braking zone corner that is, through the right king, and now at a turn 13, on the run towards turn 14, there's a car in the way on the right-hand side, that's Nathan just getting out of the way, and he's a 10th up actually, Kush, a 101.8 through the middle sectors, not the quickest we've seen so far in terms of the middle sectors, but Kush is going to be improving nonetheless if he keeps validated through the final couple of corners. Through 17, and then in towards turns 18 and 19. Underneath the grandstand now. Through 18, through 19, and then in towards turns 20 and 21. Connor, by the way, has gone second. 33.2 on a set of medium compound tyres. A very good lap from the unclaimed qualifying merchant, which he hasn't been so far this season. Kush to the line. Goes third, though. 33.6, improved by 4 tenths.
Yeah, I think Coach will be very happy with that lap now on board with QVR Campbell on his final run here in qualifying. He might have time to go for another lap. I don't know if he will do that. I don't know if he has the fuel in the car or not. As we start to see the times tumbling down here, Singapore, I think someone else just gone. Matt got second as well with 33.1, so that's a really good lap by the McLaren driver. So not doing too bad as the lap time starts to come in. Through the Singapore Sling, goes to Halford, takes a lot of curb, taking a lot more curb on that inside than we've seen. A couple of other drivers takes a very wide line at the hairpin. Look how much that's giving so much more drive out of the corner. That looked really nice by the Haas driver. And let's see now what he can do down into turn 14. What's the sector split of 1:2.0? So it's competitive, but it's not going to be matching the top guys. As Tom Robbo has also crashed out, or he's retired from the pit lane, so never mind. So he doesn't want to go out for another lap. He's happy enough with the pace that he has set. So let's see now, in under the bridge, does the Haas driver go? What can he do? Last sector, very, very difficult. This is where the driver can make the difference. If they can manage their tyres well, this is where he's going to be able to do it. Now, he goes through turn 22 and 23, the double left-hander. There's 1, there's 2, and what can he do? It's going to be a 33.7, puts the Haas driver in 6. Not a terrible lap by him.
Yeah, not a terrible lap at all. 33.7 from Campbell. Nathan there in 7th, Ruta in 8th. Verstappen, by the way, 6 tenths up on his lap time as well. So the other Haas is now coming through the final couple of corners. Very late on in the session, of course. In fact, the timer has ticked down. Verstappen goes into 8th position on that set of medium compound tyres. Dylan is coming through the first sector at the minute. We'll see what his first sector time is like. There is a yellow flag in the middle sector. I think it was Alba, that is the yellow flag in the middle sector. He's not on a lap. Cantera is, however, down into the Singapore Sling. Who's the next to come across the line? I think it might be Daniel on a lap, and I can't even see who's actually on a lap at this stage. My eyes are really not playing ball. Neil's coming through the third sector,
Neil.
In fact.
Yeah, Neil is because... Sorry, cut across here. Neil's on a lap.
Yeah, 1.6 seconds up coming through the middle sector as well. The German really on fire in terms of this lap time. What can he find in this final sector, of course? 35.6. Alba though out on top. Matthias in second. Connor in third. Is that going to be the top 3 of this session? Neil now coming through in towards the final couple of quarters. Going to lay it all on the line. Runs to the line now. And he goes 5th. Good lap time. 33.4. Kush is into the pit lane as well. Campbell is obviously off a lap. Justas is off a lap as well. I think Dylan is 7 tenths up. Daniel is coming through in towards the final couple of corners. He's on a set of soft compound tyres, interestingly, as there was a move up there. Cantera, I think, went 5th on that lap time, so good lap from Cantera. Daniel backs off through the final couple of corners. He is going to improve on his lap time, not enough though to improve his position at 34.7. He backed off. Rocco was improving, 7 seconds up. Dylan across the line, he goes up into 9th position. Rocco now to the line, he goes 13th. That's the end of qualifying. That's Alba out on top. That set of soft compound tyres was enough, but remember, he's going to be starting on that time. Matthias in second, and Connor in third. Matthias stuck, sadly, in a bit of an NSX sandwich.
He is Alba's screwed this race, I have to be. Yeah, he's not going to be in the greatest of places here. With those soft tyres, I don't know. He didn't get the lap in on the mediums. He probably went a little bit too quick on those soft tyres at the beginning of the session and probably banked on himself a little bit too much. He couldn't get in a medium lap. I didn't even set a medium lap, to be honest. So maybe he did want to start on the soft, but he's the only one in the top 10, top 13 that even went on the set of soft tyres. So it's going to be interesting how this works out for him, because they are very bad in the race. They can last about a lap. After that, they will really give out, and the medium tyres will be so much quicker. If Matt could even get ahead of Alba at the start of the race, that's going to make it a very interesting race, because Matt could pull away and Alba would end up holding them up. I'd be interested to see if Alba now goes for a 2-stop or a 1-stop, because those hard tyres early on in the race are not very nice. So I'd be interested to see if he elects to just go for a 2-stop instead, or if there's an early safety car, that will help him out massively in terms of strategy.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen around here, of course, in Singapore. Jensen, by the way, in the Discord said it's dry for qualifying and both the race. So we have got a dry race ahead of us, of course, out on track. But like the McLarens in real life in Italy, the McLaren starting on the front row again. What can Matthias do? Of course, runner-up last season, I should say, in LOE Division 2. What can he do from second position behind Alba? Alba, you would imagine, is going to streak away on that set of soft compound tyres. But in terms of the tyre strategy around here, it's all important. Most of the guys, I would think, will go mediums to hards or hards to mediums. I can certainly see in the Mercedes garage that Montana looks like he might be going on a set of hard compound tyres. But we'll have to wait and see. We've only got a couple of seconds to go. But there is a League Racing News exclusive, by the way, that just came live. Nigel Farage has spoken on the state of the F1 2021 game. I never thought I'd be saying that line in a League of Europe commentary.
I guess they've done like a Patreon with Farage or something. That'll be my guess. But yeah, everyone outside top 10s on a set of cars, except Montana and except Montana. Montana's the only one that's gone for a set of medium tyres. So he's thinking he's starting last. So he's going to try and gain some positions at the start of the race. But everyone else is going for a set of hard tyres. And poor El Alba, the only driver on a set of softs, he is going to have an absolute task on his hands to try and keep these guys behind him. But the question is, how long can he do it? It's not a matter of if Matt and Connor and etc. can get past. It's a matter of when. Because those soft tyres give you absolutely nothing in the race. So he's going to have a big job on his hands.
Yeah, it depends how many lap times I think he got out of that set of soft compound tyre. I think he only got like 2 laps maybe. 1 in lap, 1 out lap. I've miscounted there. 3 laps in fact on that set of softs. His qualifying lap, plus an in lap and plus an out lap that he set. So Alba, his tyre wear is going to be around, you would imagine, 20% I would say. And that is not great, of course, going in towards the start of a race where, of course, your nearest rivals are on that set of medium compound tyres. Connor, by the way, in 3rd position. Montana's obviously down in 19th position. Is Connor the first driver for Mercedes here tonight? And will he take the championship lead after tonight?
That's the question. We'll have to wait and see. He has a great opportunity to do it, so it favours him at the moment. Everything is going Connor's way before the race even starts. So, like, the grid positions favour him massively. So I don't see why he can't. So let's see how he gets on. But just with Alba, I don't think tyre wear is not really the issue here around Singapore. It's more just a drop off and the tyre temps. So that's what he's going to be really struggling with. Tyre wear should be an issue for these soft tyres. It's just more the wear and the temps and drop off. So he's got to really manage that at the start of the race.
Yeah, I have retweeted that video, by the way, from Nigel Farage from the League Racing News Twitter account. We're not going to play it live, by the way, on the stream. We are focusing, of course, on the action here in Singapore. It would be good if Nigel Farage actually tunes in for League of Europe on the Saturday night. That'd be insane. but nothing against the politicians whatsoever, even though I might hate him. Anyways, coming through the final couple of corners are the drivers preparing up onto that grid slots. Gary, I'm going to come across to you. Who's your top 3?
Matt, Connor and Neo.
Interesting. No Montana in the top 3 from yourself. Very interesting. No. I think if Alba gets a good start, I think he's going to win this, maybe. Alba, I think, might win this. Connor will go 2nd, and I'm going to go Cantera the 3rd. I think Cantera's got a really good chance from 6th position on the grid. The final cars are rejoined at the back of the grid, and we're just moments away from lights out here in Singapore. It's coming on in the gantry. The 5 red lights are now coming on in Singapore for round 5 of the championship. And it's lights out and away we go. Alba gets a very good start on that side of soft. Very good start as well by Connor. He's going to be side by side with Matthias running down in towards turn number 1. And so is Justas down the inside line actually on Connor. Matthias holds on to second. Connor on the outside line holds third. And Justas holds fourth as well. Everyone clean through. Montana got a very good start. I'm not sure if he corner cut his way coming through turn 2 and 3. But Montana's up 3 positions already down in 16th position. Everyone clean through turn 4 and 5 for the first time. And actually there's a crash in the background. Rocco I think has been sent round with a collision with Arcolo. And Arcolo now down to 18th. Rocco certainly down to 19th. Alba though leads the way, and inevitably on that set of soft compound tires, absolutely flies away from the field. 9/10 ahead. It's now a second ahead of Matthias in second. Connor in third. Justas in fourth. Neo in fifth. Looking further down the field, Dylan's going side by side with Nathan, running in towards the Singapore Sling just before the Singapore Sling. In fact, they've come out of it unscathed, and they're 9th and 10th. But Rocco's sent round in that collision coming through turn 5. The only main real talking point to talk about. Alba though, 1.5 seconds clears, absolutely shot away.
Yeah, and Montana's up to 13th. He's having a look on Verstappen trying to get up into 12th. He's not going to be able to do it, but he's made best use of those medium tires. They're going to have so much more temperature than the hard around him at the moment. So he's got to make those moves ASAP, and the longer the race goes on, the harder it's going to be for him to overtake, because the harder will get into the working range. But I'm not surprised Alba's pulled away at the moment. Like I said, they get a lap or two really good out of these tires, and then they'll drop off massively. He's also burned a lot more ERS than Matt, so Alba is trying to pull the gap already, but it's just a lap or two, and Matt's going to start clawing them back in. But he's got good pace. The field slightly separated a little bit, not real close together, as we'll just have to wait and see. But I think Montana's had the absolute dream start for himself. He's all over the back of Verstappen already. He's going to have a look go into turn 1. He's going to have a look into turn 1. He's going to get the move done. Yes, he is. And that's just as Tom Rowe gets a 5-second pen for speed into the pit lane, as Drew Graham's already crashed out, or DNF retarding pits. But yeah, Montana is making best use of those medium tires already, and he's already in the top 10, or not top 10. Is he in top 10?
Yes.
No, I don't. He is. I thought the game had glitched for.
No, he's not.
I think the game. I think
11th,
he's 11.
I think.
11. Yeah. So even still, what a start by the championship leader.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. So even though Cody's doesn't want to put him in the right position, Montana currently in 11th position, and he's actually in 12th position. Rocco is still out there. Yeah, he's in 12th position, in fact, so he is ahead of Verstappen. Tom Robert and Yulgreen both coming out of the pit lane, both DNFing, in fact, I should say, coming into the pit lane. Both of them out of the race. I've got to say, very disappointing to retire on a first lap. You should know better. Alba, though, 2 seconds clear, getting away from Matthias, but Matthias is just beginning to bring in that gap. Montana, however, sent to lunge across the Anderson Bridge. He is through on Wouter, and Wouter is now down into P12. Montana now is up to P11. He can now focus his sights on Dylan and Nathan ahead, but he's past the hard runners. Now he gets onto the train of everyone on that fresh set of medium compound tyres, and this is where it will get tricky for Montana. We know he's got the pace, but can he try and scythe his way through, or are these guys ahead of him just going to be one step ahead with warmer tyres?
It's going to be difficult for him now, because they're all going to be getting DRS off each other. It's going to become a DRS train almost. He's going to have to be very bold in some of these moves. The further he gets up the grid, the harder it's going to get for him. So he just needs to be careful. He is winning the championship at the moment. He doesn't need to risk absolutely everything. But it's Montana. We know he wants to win. He'll do everything he can to win. But yeah, it's going to get very difficult for him from here on out. But he's made a terrific start, a much better start than I would have imagined. Just shows how hard it is to get the hard up into a working temperature. But Matt is starting to close in a little bit on Alba. And Alba's already down to 35% ERS, so he is burning a lot. And he's probably going to come into the pits in the next lap or two, I'd suspect, before those soft tires absolutely hit a cliff. So expect to see Alba in the pit stops in the next couple of laps.
Verstappen gets through on Wouter down and towards Memorial Corner. Thune's into the point, into P12 he goes. Wouter now down into P13. Interval timings once again not playing balls out of the out on track. Daniel, by the way, came in for a front wing change. Must have nicked it on the way round. It was a right side end plate, I think, that he lost on that. Wouter is obviously down into P13, but Alba leads the way. Matthias now is beginning to bring that gap back, I've got to say. And I would say it's about a second and a half, 2 seconds around that point. But Alba's doing well out in front, though. He's trying to steal away, but the mediums are now going to be coming into play. Matthias is pretty much the net leader, I would say, of this race as well. Connor there in third, Justas in fourth, Neo in fifth, looking further down the field as well. Nearly side by side between Nathan and Kush, and Nathan is right on the back of his relentless teammate. Montana is right on the back of Dylan as well. XL against NSX, no bad blood, I'm sure, between XL and NSX, but Montana's right on the back of Dylan. and yet again, it's very hard to get through. He clips the curb coming through 21, but now coming through in towards the final couple of corners. The gap's now 1.8 seconds. Albert and Matthias out in front. Connor, though, beginning to put pressure on the back of Matthias, and we know where Matthias has pressure, he buckles, like in Division 2 last season.
Yeah, and Connor's having to use a little bit more ERS at the moment. He's going to have a great opportunity down in to Memorial Corner to make the move on Matt and get himself up in the second place. He's using Matt has helped us without DRS. He's going to defend a little bit. He doesn't want to defend too much because he's going to defend hard, and Connor's going to have to go a bit wide. He's going off track a little bit. They're still side by side. Connor's going to send it down the inside. Going to give Matt a bit of a squeeze to back into the wall. Hopefully he didn't get damaged for his sake. But yeah, I think Connor was just giving it back to Matt a little bit. Matt squeezed him out onto the off track, and Connor just like, okay, you're going to squeeze me there, I'll squeeze you here. So pretty fair, I would say, but on the limit, definitely. And for Matt's sake, hopefully he didn't pick up any damage. I don't think he has. The game hasn't said he has any damage. It doesn't show visibly, but it can still pick up damage, and it just will not show on the game. So let's see how the McLaren driver reacts to that now.
I think he's missing a winglet, if I'm not mistaken, on that left side end plate, where obviously he connected with the wall, and where Connor pretty much forced him into the wall. That will probably get looked at, I think, if he's picked up damage. You can see, actually, the oversteer, either in the dirty air. I think he's got damage. Matthias has definitely got damage by the looks of it. Justas is right on the back of him, and look at how Matthias is now struggling through the lower speed corners. This is where it will really take effect as Justas nearly gets out of shape, coming through 19, and now he's on the back of Matthias. Is Matthias going to come in? Yeah, he's got damage. Left side end plate, certainly that's going to be looked into, because Connor, you could argue now, with that damage from Matthias, it ruins his own race, but Connor, I think, is going to be fortuitous to the stewards. And if I've got to be honest, I think he might pick up a penalty.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think Matt gave him a bit of a push out wide, but it was on the limit, and then Connor just absolutely sent it down the inside, tried to get the move done, and they just made a bit
aggressive.
of contact. It wasn't very aggressive, very aggressive. Which is, you're going to see that in Singapore. It just happens this way. It is. The drivers know themselves. They have to make the moves. They have to get the elbows out, and Connor just got the elbows out a bit too much. So the stewards might have a look at that if it is reported.
Montana, by the way, came into the pits. Just realised that. Montana's came into the pit lane. And that is a very, very early pit stop on just set of hards. But, however, I've seen laps being said, actually. Oh, he's got no helmet as well. I've just realised. Montana's got no helmet out on track. The weirdest thing you'll ever see. Neo, by the way, is down into 5th position. Campbell is through on him. And I think Neo's cut the wall, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's got right side end plate damage as Cantera tries to send it down the inside line in towards the hairpin. We'll see on board with Neo. Yeah, right side end plate completely gone off that car. And now Cantera looks to the inside line. O'Connor was out across the Anderson Bridge into the hairpin. Might have had a collision with Rocco. Safety car deployed, and Cantera crucially gets through on Neil, 5th position, before that safety car was deployed. Alba now, though, this is fortuitous. He has got a pit stop in front. What does everyone do? Surely now it's a one-stop race to the end.
Yeah, this is going to hurt Montana, because Montana pitted the lap before the safety car came out. He
could be in the lead.
I think he might lose out.
Oh yeah, he will.
He's going to lose out. He's going to lose out more than the guys that are pitting right now, because they're all stuck under a delta. He can't get that undercut. So it'll be interesting to see where Montana comes out. But this is absolutely helped Alba no ends, and whoever's got damage as well, they can change. It doesn't help the hard runners though. The hard runners are going to have to stay out, and yep, they're staying out. They cannot do anything about this. It's too early for. I think Rocco's coming in. They might go on to a set of mediums and pit again later on in the race. But yeah, the people that started on the hards, this is going to hamper their race massively. Absolutely massively, as Lewis or Campbell's come back into the pits and put on another set of hards. So interesting. I wonder what he's going to do if he's going to come back into the pits. Yeah, that's an interesting strategy there by the Haas drivers. I would have pitted for a set of mediums and then come in back into the pits at the end of the lap and go on to a set of hard tires. But Montana is now up into
10th, 9th.
No, he's
side by side. Side by side with
10th.
Dylan. Yeah, he has to drop in behind.
Yeah, I don't think he's gained anything, has he? Because Neo's had a front wing change, so that gave him 1 free position. And Matt, sorry, so he gained 2 there. But yeah, P10, he hasn't lost as much as I thought he would have. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see now the 2 guys that stayed out, Wouter and Verstappen, what their play is going to be here now, because they've sort of been screwed over by this safety car.
They have been screwed over by the safety car to an extent, I would say, but Verstappen and Ruta, they can now control the race, and if they work together, a little bit of QVR and relentless faction maybe tonight, Verstappen and Ruta, if they work together, Alba's behind them, Connor's behind them as well, Justas is there as well, so they've got quick drivers behind them, but they're going to be a warmer set of hard compounded tyres. And remember, any track on this game, the set of hards takes a long time to try and wear in. Verstappen, by the way, I think he's got left side end plate damage as well. I've just noticed that. Left side end plate damage on the car by Verstappen. And unfortunately, he's going to be now maybe coming into pit lane to repair that. Is it worth coming into pit lane and losing all these positions? Maybe get ahead of Rocco or Nathan, maybe? I would say no. I would say just stay out at this point.
Well, considering it's a safety car, he's going to have to pit at some point. Maybe it is worth pitting and stick with the field, and you're not going to lose as much time as you would when you have to pit. But he's going to be holding everyone up if he stays there. He's going to be... We saw Matt, we had a lap on board with Matt when he had damage, and he has so much understeer. And with Verstappen leading the race, he's going to be holding everyone back. Is he going to come into the pit? Yeah, he's coming into the pit, so he's going to change that front wing. But and that gives Wouter the lead, but he hasn't pitted yet. So a lot of drivers making a lot of mistakes now, a lot of wing damage, and not something we tend to see here in Division 1. So a lot of this is giving people a great opportunity to pull something out of the bag here.
Loving the comment from TDB, by the way, in the comment section. Alba is really going to win on our Colo tax. He might. He might. But if another safety car comes out, of course, it could actually affect the guys that are on a fresh set of hard compounded tyres, and it could bring the likes of Montana, the likes of Matthias possibly into play. But you would imagine if there's no more safety cars, everyone's going to get a one-stop strategy right to the end of the race. We could talk punctures towards the end as well, but Woods are currently holding the lead of the race. Verstappen, by the way, came into the pit lane, put on a set of medium compounded tyres. He's behind Jensen. I thought he would have been ahead of Jensen, but he's actually behind him on that fresh set of medium compounded tyres. There's no way, I don't think, those are getting 24 laps.
No, there's no way. They can do
15?
Well, they could probably do about 20 laps, but you only want to do about 10, 11 on them before they start feeling absolutely terrible. So Montana or Verstappen side will have to come into the pits again and probably put on another set of medium tyres. Or to be honest, if I'm him, I'm pitting again and putting on a set of hard tyres once again and just going to the end of the race. I think that's the best idea. Oh, he's nearly spun under the safety car. You don't want to do that, my friends. It is very embarrassing, trust me, I know. But yeah, so if I was Verstappen, I would pit and throw on another set of hard tyres and go to the end of the race. But yeah, it's a very jumbled up grid right now. It's very jumbled up, I have to say.
It is, but it makes it more like, well, maybe F1 Sprint, possibly, from this race in Singapore. Who knows? If it's not like Italy, then goodness knows. Safety car, though, is in this lap. Everyone's on the back of the queue. And Wouter now is the virtual Bernd Malander. He is the safety car now out on track, and he can control the pace to whatever he likes. And the safety car tends to go a little bit slower around here in Singapore because there's so many corners. And the AI is actually programmed to take into account the corners and to take into account the guys in behind in terms of the pace. Connor, however, is leaving a lot of room to Albert, just coming through turn 17 there. He's leaving a lot of room to Albert. He's now right close up under the back. I wouldn't be surprised if Connor tries to get a little bit of a slingshot, gives a gap to Albert to try and chase down Ruta, and then Connor follows through in a couple of laps' time. It could be the case where that happens. He's on the back of him now, but Albert really wants to try and judge us, and he's actually just gone into the back of him, I think. There could be a 5-second penalty there. But Ruta goes. Ruta's gone. No 5-second penalty for Albert. That certainly looked like contact to me. Now underway though, and Ruta leads the way onto lap 8. Albert in second, Connor in third. Yosas in fourth. Very clean restart by everyone. Daniel's looking to try and get the move done on Neil, running down and towards turn number 1 as well. And Verstappen tries to send it as well on Jensen. The two medium runners trying to make ground through the field. But Ruta has judged this to perfection. 4 tenths ahead, coming through turn 5 once again for the 8th time. Albert there in second, and Albert got a very good restart. He's 6 tenths ahead of Connor. Connor has got a little bit of a gap to make up. Going side by side further down the field, Daniel and Jensen and Verstappen as well. Daniel on Neo, and Daniel is through on Neo. Verstappen is through also on Jensen. He is through into P14 as well. But Wouter leads the way. Albert second, Connor in third. Very clean restart by all.
Yeah, and Wouter and Albert had that incident last week at Silverstone. Albert got a penalty first, so there is no love lost between these two drivers. I don't think Wouter's going to be getting out of the way and waving Albert on to win this race. He's going to hold him up. He's going to make his life absolutely hell and see if he can hold out for another safety car, baby. That's what his plan is to do now on those set of hard tyres, as we have everyone Constantine up at the hairpin. Very easy to get down. I think Daniel is absolutely flying on those medium tyres right now. He's going to go round the outside at turn 14 on his teammate.
Gives
him space, squeezes him a little bit. I don't think it's worth fighting. Yeah, he got it done. I don't think it's worth fighting at this point in the race because those medium tyres we've seen already with Montana at the start of the race how much quicker they are when they have temps into them. So yeah, Daniel's probably going to have to pit again, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. But yeah, Daniel making big moves at the start race, and next up is Montana, so let's see if we can get past him.
Yeah, just in the non-attendance chat, by the way, Joseph has said he's back and available to race in Division 5, I believe. So I'm just having that message on in case you haven't seen the Discord. Verstappen's all over the back of Nathan, by the way, running down in towards turn 1. And Montana sends it on Dylan, down in towards turn number 1. He might be getting a black flag for disqualification in terms of his helmet, or lack of helmet. But Montana is through and he's into P8, Dylan there in P9. Verstappen is also through on Nathan. And Alba is now challenging Ruta for the lead of the race, running down in towards Memorial Corner once again for the 9th time around. Daniel closing up on the back of Dylan as well, and Dylan's going to lose 2 places for the price of 1, and so is Neo. Neo is down into P13 he goes, and Verstappen making relentless progress through the field as Justas and Connor go side by side, and Justas actually nearly punts Connor into the wall. Has Connor disconnected again? I think Connor might have disconnected again. There was certainly a bit of a glitch going on there, and he's actually coming out unscathed, so it looks like Justas is into 3rd position. Ghosting system failing. I think Connor had a major desync there, and that was a free position for Justas.
Yeah, and that's not what Connor needs at all. You can see Montana behind him, you can see his championship rival behind him, and he's not making taking full advantage of this opportunity for him. He needs to get back past Justas as soon as possible and start getting onto the back of Alba and try and challenge for this race win. Miraculously, we're only 9 laps into this race. It's dragging. Like Singapore, it's such a longest track on the calendar. It is an absolute sweat fest for these drivers. They'll be needing a cold shower after this race. It is such a long one, especially with safety cars. We had one so far. I wonder if we're going to have any more. So we will get all out of shape. That's going to give Alba a great run now into turn 1. Is he going to be close enough to get down? No, he's going to have to hold back and wait for Memorial Corner where he has some DRS to use. So I expect we were to get the move done down into Memorial Corner.
Yeah, Ruta all out of shape again, getting caught on the curb. 9-lap old hards against 3-lap old hards, and you would imagine whose money I'd be on if I was a betting man, which I am. Alba's on the back of Ruta in towards turn number 5, and Alba, this should be the easiest move you might see all night. He gets a good run out. However, he's going to be side by side with him going in toward Memorial Corner. It might not be done with yet. Ruta can hang it around the outside easily. Alba, though, down the inside line, makes through the move, gets the move done. He's through and he's into the lead of the race. Ruta will try and fight back. Further down the field as well, Kush right on the back of Cantera. I think we saw Verstappen go past Dylan as well. He's up into 10th position, so Verstappen is through and making yet more points, and he's already on the back of Daniel. Daniel, remember, has got 6-lap all-medium compounded tyres on that car. Verstappen's got 2-lap all-mediums. Verstappen is absolutely thundering through the field as Ruta is all under pressure from Justas across the Anderson Bridge.
Yeah, Ruta just, he didn't have the pace of these guys on the fresh tyres, and I think Justas is going to get the move done on his relentless teammate. Ruta just doesn't have the tracks out hairpin. Yeah, it's going to be easy. He's light down into 14. Going to hold it, keep his nose in a little bit. He's not going to defend it or fight it too hard. And then he has Connor behind. He's going to hold him up all the way through the final sector. So that's going to give Justas a bit of a buffer to Connor, and that's going to let him try and get towards Alba and try and fight for this race win. So yeah, and you can see Montana still getting stuck behind his train. He's not making the same impact he made at the start of the race. Still making moves here and there. He's slowly but surely making his way to the top of the field, but he's finding it ever more difficult behind his DRS train.
Yeah, Connor, by the way, you can see a bit of a jumping on my screen. I'm not sure if you're getting as well, Gary. Definitely looks like he is desyncing. It might be due to his connection. It might be, of course, due to the lack of Codemasters servers that this game seems to have. Alba, though, leading the way, 1.6 seconds ahead. Justas in second, Ruta in third. But Connor, right on the back of Ruta, and he's looking to try and get the move done. Down in toward Memorial Corner at turn number 7. Daniel is on the back of Montana as well. He's going to be under pressure very soon indeed, the championship leader. But here comes Connor, the championship rival to Montana, and of course his teammate now to the inside line. Goes Connor, tries to get this move done on the relentless man. Easy as you like. Connor is through and he's into P3. Daniel still on the back of Montana, and Verstappen tries to fight this down the inside line and towards turn number 8. Looks to the inside line, now on the outside line. He could try and think this about on the outside, and he's trying to get the switch back onto the inside of the Singapore Sling. Montana's running the back of Kush as well, kicking off in the mid-pack, but everyone's just stuck behind each other. They're in this old DRS train. Alba's getting away out in front, 1.7 seconds. Justas in second, and it's really spawning. Oh, as Montana's into the back of Kush, and there's a spinner. Cantera spun by himself as well. Cantera spins by himself. No contact induced in that. However, Montana contact induced in his collision with Kush. Kush is sent round and down into 15th position. And now Montana, I think, has got damage, maybe on the left side, end plate damage, and Verstappen is through, and he's now into P7. Montana must have damage as a result of that collision.
I'd be shocked if he did. I don't think Cantera spun by himself. I think Cantera.
Oh,
I
Dylan.
Dylan.
Oh, I
Dylan
think.
has damage as well.
I've got to be honest.
Montana
I think
has
there's a bit of a desync going on here with this lobby, possibly.
I don't think so. I don't think we're having PSGL standards of desync here. I think Montana is
Oh,
sure.
right side unplayed damage. Montana.
Yeah, Montana has damage. He's definitely in the piss. But I don't think Cantera spun by himself. I think Cantera or
No, Cantera spun by himself. Definitely.
I think Montana hit Kush and Kush hit Cantera. I think I could be wrong now. You could.
Or Cantera got caught on the inside wall, maybe.
Maybe that's what it was. But yeah, they all started to spin and hit each other at the hairpin. And Montana just came in way too hot into the hairpin, and that's giving him damage. And he's made such a good start, and he's thrown all the way, and he has to do it all over again.
Yep, Campbell down the inside line of Reuter, down the inside line he goes. It's Memorial Corner and he's through and he's into P4. See, that's how you perform a move down and towards Memorial Corner. So Campbell is through and he's into P4. Connor's on the back of Justas as well. But drama, Montana into the pit lane, down in 15th position. Connor's there in third. Connor can just keep it within the white lines, keep it out the walls, and he's taking the championship lead off his closest rival, Montana, who's out of the points.
Yeah, it's just like I said, Montana had done a fantastic recovery. I think he was top net P6 or top 6 when everyone did make their pit stops before that damage. He just went in too hot into the hairpin. They're all Constantine up, still very bunched up together, so he just didn't expect to have the closing speed that he did, I think, and then of course he ended up hitting to the back and picking up damage, and that just makes him have to do it all over again. But if there's one man that can't go back through the field once again, it is NSX Montana, so don't rule him out of getting still a decent result here for his championship. But yeah, this gives Connor a great chance. But Alba is in prime position right now. Justas doesn't seem to have the pace to stick with him at the moment. I think Connor has the pace to stick with Justas. He might even be a little bit quicker, so I'll be interested to see if Connor can get past Justas, what kind of pace he has relative to Alba.
Yeah, Daniel's on the back as well of Reuter, Verstappen on the back of Daniel as well, so a three-way battle for fifth beginning to kick off, as well as the battle for second between Justas and Connor. Jab, by the way, who was our replay man, it seems, in the comment section, has watched that back. Cantera unfortunately got hit by Kush after Montana went into the back. So, unfortunate collision. I certainly didn't see that. I thought he clipped the wall, in fact, on the rear left of the car, so that's why I said it originally. But Daniel, however, is getting the move done on Reuter. Down the inside he goes. Will Reuter try and hang it around the outside? Yes, he does, and they both stay within white lines as well. And look at Verstappen. Verstappen now tries to counteract this and goes down the inside line in towards turn number 8. Now on the outside in towards turn number 9. He has got the tyres. Will he get the switch back out of turn 9? Yes, he will. Verstappen is through as Jensen with tyres coming into the pit lane. Verstappen is through. Lovely move that. That is how you perform a move in Singapore. Verstappen is through. He's into 6th. Fresh set of mediums. What could he do?
I don't think he can do much. He's going to have to pit eventually. Like, there's going to have to be a point into this race where he have to pit again. Or he's going to drop off like off the cliff like nothing you've never seen before. So he's making the moves. He's trying to build a gap. I don't know where he's going to come out within that gap. But he just needs to keep putting in the laps, putting in the moves, and just hope that something happens, maybe a safety car or something. But yeah, it's just Connor's just getting bottled up behind Justas. He just doesn't seem to be quick in the right areas. Justas seems to be able to have his number. Just quick in the right areas that lead onto the straights that aren't allowing Connor to get close enough to make the move, and that's just holding back Connor a bit. But yeah, Alba's just controlling this race so far, doing what he just doing an absolute stellar job. We've seen him do really well in qualifying this season, but not anything like this in the race. So if he can get his first race win of the season, that'll be great for him. And yeah, I just don't think Justas has the pace to match him as Connor gets all out of shape, out of tree. He's really pushing that car now, and he's just a bit within DRS of Justas. So these top 3 have absolutely cleared the rest of the field. But yeah, Connor just doesn't seem to have the consistency to make an overtake on Justas.
Yeah, I think honestly Justas has the pace over him. He has his number at this stage in the race. However, there's still half the race to go, of course. Montana bangs in the new fastest lap of the race, 1:36.1, so at least a point will be going to him, of course, if he does finish this race. Alba though leading the way, Justas in second. Justas seems to have, as I say, Connor's number. It's 9.5 tenths per second around that gap, and it's been consistent throughout the last lap or so. And it looks like it's the middle sector, this middle sector, where Justas is so much cleaner compared to Connor. Look at the time just go out. It's now a second, and he's just in that DRS range. Luckily, the detection zone is before that point, but he is outside of a second now, so he is going to lose the DRS if he's not careful. Down and towards turn number 1. Verstappen, by the way, is on the back of Daniel. The 2 medium runners trying to fight on the back of Campbell, and the Haas man, what does he do here? Does he let them both go and fight for 5th position? Or does Verstappen launch a move on Daniel, Campbell holds him off, and then Verstappen can get 2 moves for the price of 1?
I think he's going to hold up Daniel as much as he can for his team. At once Verstappen gets to move on Daniel, he'll move out of the way straight away. Bit of teammate play. Nothing wrong with that. They're both in the same team, so that is allowed. So we won't complain about that at all. But yeah, I don't know if Campbell can hold back Daniel. To be honest, the mediums they just seem so much better than these hard tyres. The hard tyres have not lived up to expectations. I think from this race, the mediums seem to have so much more time to give than the hards. But yeah, Daniel want to make these moves done, or this move done ASAP, because eventually his hard or his medium will become slower. Or what's happened there?
Dylan got very close to Wouter coming through turn number 3. He's pretty much shoving them through the corner. And look, actually, Matthias is running the back of this as well. Daniel's obviously going to go for the move on Campbell. I'm going to stick on board though with Dylan to the inside line, running through the kink of 6, down into more of a corner at 7. And now Matthias is going to try and launch this as well. 2 for the price of 1. Wouter! Oh, Matthias nearly spins. He could try and make this around the outside. And I think rightfully so he doesn't. But that was one hell of a save for Matthias. But he's coming under a little bit of the radar, I've got to say. Wouter must have damage, or those tyres have completely shot the barrel out on track. Dylan is Looney's into P7. Wouter is just struggling. He's dropping down position since he started that safety car in P1. He's now down in 8th position, and he's only gone through 8 or so laps on that set of tyres. But Matthias, of course, who had damage early on in the race, he's still in P9. Has Matthias got a sneaky chance of possibly winning this?
I wouldn't say winning this, but I think a top 6 is definitely on the cards. That'd be a great recovery drive for him, considering he picked up damage. But yeah, Wouter just seems to be struggling on those soft tires, or those hard tires, sorry. And what a save that was by the McLaren driver when he tried to make the move into Memorial Corner. He absolutely steering lock to the absolute max there. But I think he can gonna have Wouter down Memorial Corner thing. I don't think Wouter's gonna have the DRS to hold him, to hold Dylan to hold Matt back anymore. If Wouter picks up a pen, then Matt picks up a pen. So both picking up pens there, and Wouter's already derating, so I'd expect Matt to get the move done. But Dylan's also going quietly under the radar. I think he's in an FP5 man, because you would expect those two medium tire guys to pit against that P5 for Dylan. And he's having a pretty strong debut season in Division 2, so he's gone well under the radar. But here's Matt now, all over the back of the Williams driver. I don't think Wouter's going to have much to fight about. Look at the run, look at the grip he has. As Montana sets the fastest lap of the race, down in 14th at the moment, as Daniel is overtaken by Verstappen as well, up ahead to Memorial Corner, and then Matt gets the move done as well on Wouter down Memorial Corner. So that's 2 moves there. That's where the drivers are making most of their moves tonight. So a bit of synchronised overtaking there almost.
Yeah, Steward's report, by the way, is going to say, I think, Gary's dogs cost 3-second time penalties for Matthias and Wouter. I heard them barking in the background there.
They're not
yours.
They're not mine. No,
they're not yours. I'll still go in the report, though, as it being yours, to be honest. But Albert leads the way. It's Justas in 2nd. It's Connor in 3rd. Connor still doesn't have the pace over Justas at this stage. Bit of a lock-up, in fact, from Justas. Nearly cascaded himself in toward the wall, but 9/10 of a second still, separating 2nd and 3rd at this stage of the race. Cantera now is the latest man on the back of Wouter. 9th position currently for the Williams man out on track. The Alpine, of course, just in behind. Neil and Nathan as well. The Aston Martin's just coming under the radar slightly. They could be there to pick up the pieces as well if they were to battle, of course. We haven't had any PK gate, by the way, which I'm glad to report so far in Singapore. But Albert leads the way. It's Justas in 2nd. It's Connor in 3rd. We are more than halfway through this race now. Hopefully you are enjoying this. And if you are, like, comment, subscribe. Tick that notification bell, of course, if you are new, as Wouter is into the pit lane, possibly for a set of medium compounded tyres, and we get to see if he did actually have damage.
Yeah, I don't think he had damage, to be honest, but I think he's just struggling massively on those tyres. But yeah, we'll have a look.
There's a front wing change.
Oh, okay, he did have damage. And, yeah,
there is.
There is. Yeah, so he did have damage. A lot of drivers picking up damage. It doesn't seem to be visible damage. It just seems to be light green damage that a lot of drivers are getting. It's just not coming up on our screens. So that's probably why. Yeah, that's why I would have said they didn't have damage, but clearly he did. But Connor now starting to get onto the back of Justas a little bit closer. Then this is close as he's been in for a few laps. So if he can stay this close through the last sector and down into Memorial Corner, he'll have a great chance. And Alba's not really driving away, like he's ahead, but he's not comfortably ahead. I think if Connor could get past Justas, he could really push Alba for this race win.
Connor might have been holding back maybe on the tyres. He might be thinking that the guys are just over-pushing themselves out in front. And that is why Connor, I certainly think, he's only 2/10 off his personal best in the middle sector. I think he might have just backed off, tried to save the tyres maybe in behind Justas. And now Connor's beginning to bring that into play. And look at the gap. It was 9/10 of a second last time around. Oh, as he crouched the wall. Actually on the exit of turn 17... and I don't think there's any damage. I think it was a side plate rub against the wall for the Mercedes, but Connor very, very lucky maybe to get away with that. Justas certainly is still continuing on along with Connor, so Connor obviously hasn't picked up damage as a result of that, but it just loses him that little bit of time, and he doesn't look that comfortable. He gets out of that rhythm, he then gets back into that rhythm, and then he's on absolute fire. Can he try and pull the race win out of his bag? But Albert leads the way, Justas in second, Connor in third, Campbell now is the latest man on the back of Daniel, P5 and 6 this is currently. Daniel we think is going to come back into the pit lane along with Verstappen. Verstappen could make it I think on 24 lap all mediums. Campbell however now chomping at the bit on the back of the VRT man of Daniel, and Daniel I think is going to hold this one down towards Memorial Corner. However the closing speed of Verstappen, Campbell sorry, down the inside on he goes. Daniel Ricciardo West, oh he forced him off track sorry, might have to give up the position. Now Daniel on the inside line could still complete this cleanly. He has. Campbell give him the benefit of the doubt I think for that one. Campbell is through and he's into P5. It was like Connor's move, but less ruthless, less aggressive. Campbell made sure what he was doing, and he's through into P5.
Yeah, I think he's in a net P4 as well. He hasn't had the greatest of seasons so far, has the Haas driver. So he could get P4. I think he won Singapore here last season, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. So he knows his way around this track. He is very comfortable around here, and he's going quietly under the radar now. He's on for a very, very solid result here. As Connor cannot get close enough to Justas. This is the issue here. He just can't, and they're slowly catching Alba here. Gap was 2.4 to start a lap. Is now 2.1, 2.2 around that margin. So Justas, he has pace if you can put it together all together on the same lap. It's just Alba just doing enough right now to win this race, but he's not pulling away. He doesn't have clear pace over the rest of the guys. It's just enough. But yeah, Connor just doesn't seem to have the pace advantage to make a move on Justas. He didn't have the overspeed as Dylan and Matt. I think that's Daniel coming into the pits. They're overtaking him. Yeah, so if Daniel pits, I would 100% expect Verstappen to come into the pit as well. Verstappen has slightly fresher tyres, so he's probably a couple of laps out, but I still see him come into the pit before the end of this race.
Could Verstappen though go into a set of soft gum panel tyres compared to Daniel in a set of mediums, because he's got 4 lap fresher tyres than Daniel when he came into the pit lane. He's there in 4th, he's in a bit of no man's land, but this is the time where he can really begin to try and pick up the pace. He will lose time obviously to Connor and to Justas, but Alba leading the way, 1.9 seconds out on track. That gap has came down a little bit, and Justas I think is now beginning to pressure on. I don't know, has Alba got right side end plate damage? I do not know. I can't really see it. If it is, it's not visible. But I'm just comparing end plates there, and it looked to me as if he was missing a winglet on the right side end plate. But I might be just beating around the bush. His tyres might be going off, and it's 2 seconds to the gap. It's staying around the similar point, but Justas and Connor have gained over the last 2 laps.
Yeah, I think Justas seems to be, at this moment in time, the quickest driver on track. Connor's just slowly falling away. He's out of DRS at the moment. He's back in there just about, so he is on the bubble of DRS. But Justas is just slowly but surely hitting away at that time. It's down to 1.9. He had a great last at 1.8. So Justas is very, very strong in that final sector. That seems to be where he's gaining a lot of his time. And at this rate, he's going to catch Alba by the end of this race, and he's going to have a great chance of overtaking and getting his first win of the season. So this race is far from over right now, and he's going to drag Connor along as well, so we could have a 3-way battle for the race win with 11 laps to go.
Yeah, Justas really beginning to pick up the pace. Relentless man. It could be his, I think, 2nd win, if I'm not mistaken. He did win last season, if I'm not mistaken.
Did he win? I can't remember what race. He did win, but I can't remember off the top of my head what race it was. It's completely gone for me, but I'm pretty sure he did win at least one race last season, so let's see if he can add to that. And he is starting to catch Alba, who, like a decent amount, about 10th a sector. So maybe Alba does have damage, or maybe he's just struggling. He didn't have much ERS to play with either. He burned a lot to start trying to pull that gap away. So it'll be interesting to see how it happens.
Yeah, Justas won Belgium, penultimate round of the season last season in Liga Europe, and Justas could be looking for 2nd race win in Liga Europe. Wouter, by the way, is on the back of Kush. Probably the easiest move you might see all night is actually Kush just let him through. Wouter is through, and he's into P14. Montana, by the way, just thought I'd mention he's in the points again. So Montana's back in the points. Connor's obviously in 3rd position. It will take a safety car, I think, for Montana to try and win this race, to be honest. And then only then he's going to struggle to try and come back through the field as well. So it looks off at the minute for Montana, but he's on that fresh set of medium compound tyres. So there's the yellow flag in sector 2, and Kush has crashed out, and that could be the safety car that Montana might need. There it is. There's the safety car. Everyone now dives in. Luckily for everyone, they're into the pit lane before the safety car came out. So everyone's into the pit lane. Alba in, Justas in, Connor in. Surely everyone going on a set of mediums, you would imagine.
Yeah, Verstappen is... This is going to help Verstappen out massively. Ooh, he gets very close to the pit wall there. But yeah, this is going to give him a great opportunity to just get a podium even. Like, he's
Can
right
Terry
there
Nathan
now.
stay out?
Wow. How many laps are we going to... We're going to have about 8 laps of racing. The Haas will make it. The Haas will make it. They're just going to be so much slower. But that's going to make the restart extremely interesting with all these guys pitted. And Montana's end up in 6th. No,
5th?
Montana...
6th.
Right
behind
Connor. Wow. So yeah, so this is... You're just saying for Montana can't win this race. I don't think he can. He's on 8 lap old mediums compared to everyone else, but he's right behind his championship rival right now. So this makes everything so... We're gonna have a proper sprint race now. This is what we're gonna have to the end of this race. Wow, I'm shocked that Nathan and Cantera stayed out. They're going for an absolute Hail Mary of a strategy. I think they're going to get eaten up, probably, to be honest, but they had nothing to lose, so why not pit? Why not stay out and, see what happens?
Yeah, they are going to get eaten up, I think. Cantera, obviously, and Nathan have stayed out. Montana is the only other person to have stayed out, bar Daniel and Rocco, who also came into the pit lane that last lap around when somebody else did, I think. I think it was Kush who came into the pit lane further down the field, but Cantera leads the way. Nathan in 2nd, Alba in 3rd, Justas in 4th. Safety car restart is going to be happening probably next lap around Rooster, Rocco, and the lights are still off the back of the safety car at this point. But this could be the most fascinating end to a race that you might see in League of Europe, certainly for this week, maybe not the entire season, but still. 20 viewers, of course. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Cantera leading the way, Nathan in 2nd, Alba in 3rd position. Surely, once again, this is Alba's race to lose, because you would imagine Cantera and Nathan, they're just going to be swamped completely under this safety car restart.
It depends how he gets through them. If he gets held up behind, you're going to give Justas a big opportunity. Just like point out, Kivyar Campbell has been absolutely screwed over here by his teammate being in front from coming into the pits. He was in a net P4. He now finds himself down in 11th. So his horrid start to the season goes on, but that had completely out of his hands. It's just unfortunate timing, and the game not having a great double stacking coding or whatever you want to call it. So that's really hampered him. But it's going to be interesting. Well, I think Verstappen is going to be... Yeah, I think Verstappen is my outside favourite to nick a podium here. If you can get past Montana, now Montana's on 8 lap old medium, so he's still going to have pace, but he's not going to have the pace of the fresh medium tyres. So this is going to... Yeah, I am really looking forward.
Nathan to Cantera out in front. 5-second penalty for them both. And it was Nathan who induced the contact. He failed to notice Cantera still down in front of him. Both of them pick up a 5-second penalty. And that is them out of contention.
They might get removed. The stewards tend to remove penalties like that. So they could get removed. For Nathan's sake, you want to hope he didn't get damage, or Cantera didn't get rear wing damage. I think it didn't look like they got damage, but most of the time the steward will elect to remove those kind of penalties. So I think they're still okay. So if I was a driver behind them, I wouldn't be holding back, presuming they're not going to get a 5-second pen removed. I'd be overtaking them and trying to get this race win on track.
Yeah, look at in the comment section, by the way, as well, just to keep you in the loop of some of the other races that's to come tonight. Division 2 and Division 5. It looks as if certainly Division 2 might be delayed slightly. Division 5, I think, will probably be delayed at the same time. I would imagine, if I'm going to guess a time, it might be 10 or 15 minutes later than advertised. So, obviously at 10 past 8. I think Division 3's had a restart, if I'm not mistaken, as well. So that just pushes the time back a little bit further. So... keep tuned in to this Division 1 stream. Keep tuned in, of course, to the Discord if you're in it. And hopefully we'll bring you Division 2 and Division 5 action when it does come along. Unlike the Belgian Grand Prix in real life, we are going to have racing for Division 2 and 5. Safety car's going to be in this lap, though.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So, how is Alba going to play this? He needs to be careful, because if he goes gun-ho on Nathan and gets pushed wide or whatever, he's going to give Justas a great opportunity to get by. I got a feeling I don't think Nate's going to battle just as hard as he would battle Alba for a race win. So this is going to be very interesting indeed. I'm looking forward to seeing how this goes. And when Cantera decides to go, he's backing them up. They need to get temperature into those hards, so they're going to make this a quick restart. They're not going to hold back. I'm just going to hopefully get the safety car in straight away, and they will absolutely fly away, or try to at least.
Yeah, there'll be 9 laps left after this, of course. Matthias, Neil, Rocco and Moose have all got 3-second penalties. 5 seconds, of course, for Cantera and Nathan. It might get removed, though, at the end of this race. Connor really got close to the back of Justas there, and Cantera backs them up, and he says go. So Cantera now goes out of turn 21. Oh, as Alba nearly loses it, and Justas actually can't overtake, and Justas was side by side with him out of the final 2 corners. Connor's got a great restart compared to the both ahead. Alba had a right slide on coming out of 21. Cantera though leads the way. Nathan in second, Alba in third. Luckily, the yellow flags were still out for him. Justas could have easily overtaken, but look at the pace of Alba. Look at the pace of Justas. They're already on the back of Nathan. Cantera's trying to sneak away out in front, but surely this is Alba's move to do. Right on the back of Nathan, running down towards Memorial Corner once again. Cantera's getting eaten up as well, possibly. Alba to the outside line on Nathan, looks to the outside line, got fresher tyres. Has he got the determination to get around the outside? No, stays in third for now. Cantera holds the lead. Nathan nearly goes into the back of him, pretty much like Indy cars that go through turn 8 and 9. Cantera though leads the way. Nathan in second, Alba in third. Once again, a very clean restart. It could have easily ended up another way as Alba tries to look down the inside line to Singapore Sling. Nathan gets sent down the inside line, and Justas is through, and he's into P3. Nathan makes a mistake. I think he's got left side end plate damage as well, if I'm not mistaken. Cantera's through. Alba through into second. He hit him, and Justas now into third, and Nathan with damage, dropping all the way down the field, and he's getting side by side with Connor, and Montana's right on the back of this as well. If Connor's not careful, he might pick up damage as well. Tries to go all the way around the outside. Alba's through on Cantera for the lead of the race around the outside as well. This is mayhem. Cantera now. Montana is out of Connor. Montana sends it on Nathan. I don't know what we're going on here. This is absolutely madness out on track.
Oh, Montana's got to be so careful. Yeah, look at this. Oh my word. Nathan's been holding up everyone so much. He's not even doing anything. He's not even doing anything really wrong. He just doesn't have the grip on his tyres. And Montana got past the championship rival, and now he's back behind. But I think
Daniel's got damage.
Yeah, Daniel. I think Alba completely outbroke himself going into the Singapore sling and hit right into the back.
3 wide, 3 1 to 2 turn 1. Sorry, Matthias Verstappen, Dylan. Was the one. Dylan, Matthias, and Verstappen were side by side. 3 wide in towards turn 1. Driving standards again, a little bit aggressive for my liking.
Wow, this is on the edge right now. This is really on the edge.
Oh my god, we could get 3 wide in towards Memorial Corner. Verstappen, Matthias, and look at Neo. He's boxed in at the minute. He could have easily made it swing into the inside line. Matthias now on the outside line of Verstappen. Clean sailing move. Oh, it's Connor's in the wall. Connor into the wall. Right side end plate damage. And he nearly locks up. He breaks it from wings. That's him surely out of the race. Connor, his championship hopes. I don't know if there was contact with the wall or contact with another driver, but he certainly got sent from the right side curb, and he's out pretty much a contention. Certainly maybe out of the points. He leaves the session, and that now hands Montana an inevitable championship lead.
Yeah, and Montana's on for a podium at the moment. Of course, Cantera and Nathan have 5-second penalties that will probably get removed, but nonetheless, right here, right now, Cantera or Montana's on for a net P5. Dylan, if he can get past Montana, he can be on for his first ever Division 1 podium, and he's got 8 lap fresher tyres, or 9 lap fresher tyres, sorry. So he's going to have to pace over Montana here, and Montana might even picked up damage in all that melee with Nathan, who is somehow still in P4. I don't know how he's in P4, but he is. But yeah, this is crazy, and Justas is starting to catch back up to Alba again, but I don't know if he's going to have the laps to catch back up and get an overtake done.
Neil's right on the back of Verstappen. Verstappen all the way wide coming out of the final corner. Neil's now right on the back, and now XL against QVR. And QVR remain in front, just like they are in EML, I think. QVR's through. Verstappen's still in P8. I'm throwing real shade tonight in League Group Division 1. Neo and Rocco are on the back, however. Dylan, as you say, right on the back of Montana. He could pick up a podium if he does get past Montana. And now Neo is side by side with Verstappen. Could be the easiest move you might see all night, and it will be. Neo is through. And now here comes Rocco. Look at Rocco down the inside on of Verstappen. Verstappen's just been eaten alive out on track. Neo was through, Rocco was through, XL on fire.
I wonder if Verstappen has some kind of damage, because he seems to be struggling a lot. He
right
has
side.
great pace. Yeah, he does, yeah, so that's not surprising. Look at Dylan. He's right on the back of Montana, who's right on the back of Nate. This is going to get elbows are going to come out here, boys, because this is for a podium. This is for a Division 1 podium. They don't come around all day, every day. Unless you're Montana, of course, but Cantera, Nathan, and Dylan are all going to fight like their life depends on it for this podium. They don't get podiums, Division 1 podiums every day of the week. And Matt is there as well. Matt could even pick up a podium here. This is going to have an absolutely chaotic end to the rest of the thing, because these two hard runners are only going to get slower before they get quicker.
Yeah, I think Cantera and Nathan, I've said it so far tonight, they've got to work together to hold back Montana and Dylan if they've got any sort of chance of maybe picking up a provisional podium, of course, out on track. Alba, though, leads the way. Justas in second. They're miles clear. They're pretty much the front two home. Will Justas actually get the race win over Alba? He's closing up. 0.8 of a second there, briefly coming through turn one. Cantera's there in third, Nathan in fourth, Montana in fifth, Dylan in sixth. He just hopped over the curb slightly. Might have been a warning for the Red Bull man, but he's right on the back of Montana, the defending champion, the championship leader, soon to be. Championship leader by an even further gap. Nathan all out of shape coming out of turn 5, and now Dylan hunts down Montana on the run down, and actually Montana hunts down Nathan in towards turn number 7 at Memorial Corner. The same position for now. Cantera holds in third, Nathan fourth, Montana in fifth, Dylan in sixth. Matthias, welcome to the party in seventh.
This is... If Cantera and Nathan can pull this off, this would be absolutely incredible, because their tyres are going to be stopped. Look at Dylan. Dylan's having the run on Montana for the Singapore Sling. No chance of that happening. But yeah, Dylan has so much more pace than even Montana right now because of the tyres. It's just, you can just see how much he's being held right now. If he can get past Montana, he can definitely get...
No way!
Around the
outside of the hairpin, he's going to get the traction as well. Look at that, what a move by Dylan! Wow. That is absolutely insane. Around the outside, XL Dylan has just mastered the defending champion of League of Europe Division 1. Dylan is through, he's into P5. His podium hopes now are well and truly alive.
It's one thing to go around the outside of the hairpin. It's another thing to do against Montana, the defending champion, the leading championship leader. That is absolutely ridiculous. Regardless if he has fresher tyres, that is incredible. Now he's got 2 more moves to make if he wants this podium, because he knows that Nathan and Cantera probably won't get those pens removed, so he needs to get the moves done. Look how much slower Nathan is. He's getting absolutely held up so much, and let's keep an eye on Justas. He's got to win DRS of Alba. There's plenty of laps left for him to win this race.
Matthias, by the way, what happened to Matthias? I didn't click. Neil was spun coming out of turn 1. I'm not sure if there was contact there, maybe with Rocco, who I think was behind him. I don't think he was close enough. But Matthias is now onto a set of soft compounded tyre. He must have clipped the wall, surely out on track, and here comes Dylan on the back of Nathan. Absolutely phenomenal run out of turn 5. Could he get Cantera 2 in 1 go, maybe? No, not quite close enough down into a Memorial Corner. However, through this middle sector, if he can pull another move around the outside, goodness me, this is going to be outdoing Rocco's 3 wide move in F2.
He was so close to hitting the wall there. He had so much understeer through that corner. I thought I had to hold my breath. Where's he come from? Where's he come from? Montana's really struggling right now on those tyres. They're just not giving him anything now. He went for the Hail Mary. He stayed out when the safety car came out, and he's just biting him a little bit as Rocco's going to send it down. He said, no way! No, it's not going to happen again. Montana's too well aware of that. But Justas is right there. You've got to keep an eye on Justas. Rocco's going to send it down the inside. No.
False Montana into a mistake, though. Could be 5, could be 2 wide in towards 16 and 17. No, Montana stays ahead. Rocco, however, no. Montana stays ahead.
Yeah, keep an eye on Justas. Justas is just there. He is just there. He's going to have a chance. I think he'll have one chance come the end of this race to win this race. And Dylan is here as well, still on the back of Cantera. You'd expect him to make the move and get up into that podium position, into P3. Yeah, he's got to hold it. Yeah, I'd say he's going to hold it till the Memorial Corner, but he's got such a run. He's going to do it right now, right here, turn 1, easy, like inside line. That's him up into P3, and that's you have to say Cantera and Nathan have done an absolutely amazing job on these tyres to still be where they are right now. If they finish here, that'd be a great effort by them. But Alba is now derating, and
Rocco around the outside of turn 5. What a move! Rocco around the outside of turn 5. Another masterful move. The Red Bulls are on fire. Rocco is through into turn number 5 around the outside of Montana. Montana, you've just ate your own dust, my friend.
Yeah, Montana is really struggling. Oh, Rocco gets a bit out of shape there, but Montana is struggling on those tyres, and he's getting done in by these moves, which are looking absolutely amazing. But he's sort of helpless. Can't do anything about them. He doesn't have the tyre grip to do anything about them. But yeah, look how much Dylan's already pulled away from the Cantera and Nathan train. He's already out of DRS, and can Justas get close enough? He's 9 tenths, 8 tenths. That's where the gap's been. He can get within half a second. He has a great chance of winning this race. And what a race it's been. I didn't think we'd have much entertainment here.
Nathan sent it on Cantera, down in towards 10-14. No contact, Cantera stays ahead. And look at Rocco. Oh, Nathan let him through.
That's interesting. I don't know why he's done that. I guess he's struggling on his tyres or whatnot, but that's... or did he get damage? Maybe he got damage.
Nathan's got more penalties than Rocco. 8 seconds for Nathan, 3 for Rocco.
Oh, that's interesting. I don't know what's gone on there. I don't know why he's just let him through like that. As just that's picked up a penalty. No! And that we've been robbed of the final...
The race win.
Yeah, we've been robbed. We've been robbed. I think Alba can bring this home now, unless he's close to a penalty. I was going to have a quick look. He has 2 warnings as well, so he needs to be careful. So, yeah, if they both picked up a pen, that's going to make it very interesting. But yeah, a bit strange by Nate to let Rocco through. I don't know why he's done that, but nonetheless, Rocco's all over the back.
Oh, Matthias has crashed!
He's crashed out. Oh.
We're not going to get a safety car at this point in the race, surely. No. Rocco's on the back of Cantera.
Yeah, easy move. Got to put himself up into P4. But I think Cantera only has that 5-second penalty, so he needs to pull 5 seconds. No, he needs to pull 8 seconds even on Cantera if he wants to hold on to that P4, so that might be a bit out of his reach. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Montana's tyres, by the way, have also came alive. He's still right on the back of these guys as well. We've got to speak about that. Verstappen's on the back of Leo as well. Everyone looking like they're going for soft compounder tyres like Zandvoort sort of thing. Oh, it's Nathan! Nearly goes into the back of Cantera. Nearly loses it into the hairpin. Luckily for him, Cantera stays ahead. Nathan there in P6, Montana in P7 for now. But as Jav put it, Red Bull Masterclass out on track. I think that's what we can sum up tonight. An absolute Red Bull domination out on track as Justas has made a major mistake out of the final couple of corners. He's just lost half a second to Alba.
Yeah, and that's it. He's no chance of winning this race. And Cantera's now picked up a penalty. So if Rocco can pull, what, 2 seconds on Cantera, he'll have a penalty. He'll have that 4th place. Yeah, he'll have that 4th place. As Justas has spun. Justas has spun.
Has he got a puncture? No.
Has he got a push?
No, it must be some sort of controller glitch or a wheel disconnected or something like that. He's just lost half a second through the final corner, and now he's lost 6 seconds as a result of that spin. Look at his tyres, they're blistered completely.
He's only done 8 laps on them. That is shot. He has to have some kind of equipment issue going on right here.
Surely.
Because he has to. That is such a shame for him. He's drove such a good race. Hopefully he can bring this home now. For P2, he's got to watch out for Dylan now. If Dylan can catch by 4.5 seconds in 2 laps and get 2nd place, that'd just be insane. As Verstappen is now past Neo up into P8. Neo's gonna have a look back, can't get the move done. But yeah, that's a real shame for Justas. He's drove an absolutely amazing race so far. So hopefully he can bring it back home for P2 because he deserves that at the least. So let's hope he can, whatever issues he's having, he can bring it home.
Connor's just got into the wall, I think. Connor has just got into the wall coming out of turn number 17. Oh, he's disconnected, sorry.
Yeah,
Ignore me.
Yeah.
I'll believe the way. Yes, that's a second. I think it was Reuter overtaking Connor and Connor's AI nearly got forced into the wall. I think that's what that was. Albert, though, leading the way. He is a lap out from somehow winning this race. I think the safety cars, to be honest, have been very fortuitous to him. But at the end of the day, he has been the better driver out of everyone.
Yeah, he's absolutely played this to perfection. Be interested to know if he actually always planned to start on a set of soft tyres, because I don't think he would have, to be honest. But he did start on the soft tyres, the less variable strategy. Had a nice time safety car, went onto a hard, and then they had another 90 time safety car to go onto a set of mediums. So the game, the safety cars have played him well. They've helped him out, but he's drove fantastically nonetheless. Like, he's controlled this race. There's never been a moment where you thought, oh, Alba's not going to win this race. He's always had the gap. So he's one more lap to go to bring it all home. And yeah, it'd be interesting to see if Nathan or Cantera can get the move done for P5 on track at least. And we'll see if they get that pen removed after the race from the steers. But Montana's just dropped off. He has no pace left on those tyres right now. He's put up a great effort to get P7, just nothing left in the tyres.
Yeah, Nathan's got no ERS as well, so couldn't make the move done until Memorial Corner. I think Nathan has just got to use his wits about him. Cantera is there for the taking. Both of them have got penalties. Both of them are on the same 8-second penalty that they've got. 3 seconds, of course, of that was corner cutting. The other 5 seconds was because of an induced collision between them both under the first safety car. Nathan, though, on the back of Cantera, running through Memorial Corner. Will have to cut away, though, because Alba is coming through turn 17 very soon indeed. But Nathan now coming through as Campbell bangs in the new fastest stop of the race. I don't think Nathan's going to be close enough to Cantera running in towards turn 14. I'm still going to ride on board, but I can see Alba getting closer and closer to the line. And we'll cut on board with them now as Alba rounds the final 2 corners. Alba is going to take the win here in Singapore. Alba to win in Liga Europe Singapore for Division 1. Justas now round the final corner to finish in 2nd position. Whatever happened, as he nearly spins coming through the final corner. He's happy to finish in 2nd, I think. Probably a little bit disrespected, to be honest, by his spin. But Dylan has come across the line to finish in P3 and he crashes into the back of Justas' AI car. Rocco across the line to finish in P4, Cantera across the line to finish in P5, and Nathan in P6, but of course they've got 5-second penalties, might get added on to their time. Montana currently in 5th. I think Cantera and Nathan's penalties will get removed, so we'll have to see the position changes. Neo's AI car just wallops Verstappen into oblivion nearly, coming across the line. Daniel across the line to finish in P10 as well. Wouter and Campbell, by the way, still going on a battle. Campbell down the inside line and Wouter. Great move, Daniel Ricciardo West down the inside line, into P11 he goes, and he picks up probably an extra point as well in top of that, because Buta had a 3-second penalty. Campbell now through, and he's into 11th position. He's trying to chase the fastest lap of the race as well. Daniel did well to finish in 10th, by the way, but Campbell coming around the final couple of corners to finish in P11. As my voice goes, Wouter coming across the line to finish in P12. Connors AI, of course, down in 13th position, will not pick up any points. He's out of the points anyways. Campbell across the line to finish in P11. Wouter across the line to finish in P12. And Connors AI, of course, finishing in P13. What a race that was. A wonderfully bizarre race, as Daka has just said in the comment section. Driver of the day, what about the in-game fans? Montana. No.
Not this week. Wow, that was... catch your breath time. What a race. We had absolute drama. Oof, that's not bad for a Singapore race, isn't it? I've seen worse Singapore races in my time. Who says Singapore can't provide overtaking or battling or entertainment? Wow. Yeah, GG to the podium finishers. That was incredible. And Montana, after all that, he increased his championship lead. Who would have thought of that coming into this round? Montana starting last would it increase his points tally on Connor. That just shows how good this man is, how relentless he is, and how consistent he is. So even though he only got 7th, I think it was in the end, I don't think he'd be too disheartened about it, considering where he qualified.
Yeah, of course, Verstappen finishing in P6 of Cantera and Nathan might move up as a result of their penalties, but it's Alba who takes the win. Pole position, not the fastest lap, however, so no Grand Slam, but Alba certainly P1 out on track, dominated. Justas in 2nd, Dylan overtaking Masterclass from the Red Bulls. They deserve 3rd and 4th, I think, in the end. Dylan in 3rd, Rocco in 4th with Montana in 5th, Verstappen in 6th, Cantera in 7th, Nathan in 8th, Neo in 9th, and Daniel rounding off the top 10. Of course, those positions may be subject to change. Campbell and Ruta finish in the points. Connors AI also finished. Matthias, Kush, Jensen, Alcolo, Tom Robbo, and Yildirim all DNF'd out of the race. In what was a little bit of a war of attrition in the end. Alba, though, winning, Justas in 2nd, and of course Dylan in 3rd position. Hopefully, they might be available for a top 3 interview.
Yeah, hopefully. I'm very curious to see what Alba's strategy was in qualifying. I'd like to know if he actually always planned to start on those very unwanted soft tyres. So hopefully we can get them in. They've all had their invites to the to the party. So hopefully we'll get a few of them in ASAP. But yeah, whew, that was. We have one of them joining. There's Dylan, and I think they're all starting to flurry in. Yeah, we go. Yeah, so whew, catch your breath. Here we go. I'm going to hand it back to James now to start off the podium interviews.
Yeah, we've got Justas here. I'm not sure if Alba is going to be joining us. However, I will wait an extra minute or so for him to join. But as Daka said, what a wonderfully bizarre race out on track. And Gary, actually, I'll come across to you while we wait for Alba to maybe join us. Driver of the day for you was?
Oh, Dylan. Ask me. I have to go with my boy, XL Dylan.
No bias there whatsoever, I see, Gary.
No bias.
No,
bias.
Well deserved. I totally agree. Dylan, definitely driver of the day. That move around the outside of the hairpin, I'm sure we will come on to. But Albert is here finishing, of course, in P1 out on track. And Albert, we didn't think you would finish in this position. You were very fortuitous with the safety cars. Talk us through it.
Mate, first off, GG to Justus and Dylan. Both drove perfectly today. And yeah, for the strategy, I wanted to go as long as I could on the softs, and hoping maybe for a safety car for an early one, and thank God it came out. So first one on mediums, on the hards I mean, because they will probably held up to the end, so everyone went on them, and yeah, then it was quite straightforward until the next safety car.
It was quite straightforward until the next safety car. Talk us through that first safety car, Wolf, because of course you started on that set of soft compounder tyres. Was it your intention to start on that set of soft compounder tyres?
No, absolutely not. I wanted to go on the mediums, but the first run on mediums was slightly slower than my soft lap, so I had to abort that one in the second sector. And the second run I just invalid on turn 2 on the outside, so I wanted to go out on the last lap, but I missed the start-finish straight by 6 seconds or 5, and then I couldn't do a last one.
Yeah, and obviously that second safety car, I think, was very fortuitous. Of course, you had Cantera and Nathan ahead of you. That 5-second penalty with the contact, that gave you the freedom, really, to do whatever you wanted. And obviously you had Justas pushing you towards the end of the race. Just how close was Justas trying to push you in that final couple of laps before you made those mistakes?
Yeah, coming to the 5 seconds from Cantera and Nathan, like you said, it gave me a slightly bit of freedom on what I can do the next laps, but in the meantime I had to watch out for Justus because I know his pace on the mediums would be quite rapid, and that's why I had to go quite quickly through Nathan. But suddenly, like, I think it would turn 8 before the Singapore slingshot, he just ghosted, and I couldn't do anything because he was ghosted inside me, and then he went wide. So that was a free position nearly for me. And then, like you said, Justus completely pushed me to my limit. He got into my DRS, but I think even though I had 2 warnings from lap 13 on, I could withstand the pressure that Justus put on me.
Yeah, and obviously after those 2 warnings, you certainly picked up the pace, and you obviously got the win, of course, out on track. Gary, I'm going to come across to you. Any questions?
Yeah, first off, man, congrats. That was a hell of a race. You've shown qualifying pace all season long, just not in the races hasn't clicked as well for you, but tonight it did. Just want to talk about qualifying quickly. You started on the soft tyres. Was that always the plan? To start on a set of soft tyres, or were you hoping to set a lap on the mediums, but ultimately didn't get to do it at the end?
Yeah, it was quite unlucky in the end.
Yeah.
Couldn't do a last lap on the mediums because they only had like 2% tire wear. So the first 2 ones were not really that good or invalidated, and I wanted to do a 3rd lap, but yeah, you know how the pit lane works in F1. Yeah. It's like 1 minute just to get in and out, so I missed it by some seconds.
Yeah. And did you feel like that strategy was going to hinder you a lot? Like, you broke away very quickly at the start. Was that the plan? Just try and get as far away as possible on those soft tires, try and bridge a gap?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I think I made like a 2.5 seconds gap to, I think it was Matt. But he was struggling quite a bit, and I think Connor and Justus came through quite quickly. And then I think after the safety car I was behind Wouter for a little bit. But he also struggled quite so much on the hards. So I got through like 2-3 laps later, because I wanted to wait for the DRS to get a clean overtake. And yeah, that's everything.
Yeah, and where do you go from here now? First race win in the season. What's the aim for the rest of the season? Like, do you think you can win a couple of more races? Is there any races in particular you're keeping your eye on?
I don't know. It's quite difficult for me now. So school is starting for me next week, and it's gonna be quite tough there to practice. Also with football. I also play like in higher leagues in Germany, and you also have like 3 times a week practice, and all of my games are on Saturday at 4 p.m. German time, and the race for me in Germany is 7:30. So I can't really practice before the race, and you have to have a bit of practice to really get a feel for the track still, but also like practice the days before it. But the first 5 races I wasn't really able to do that. My football games just, I couldn't do anything. 10 minutes before the race I came home and just straight on to have fun.
Yeah, well then hopefully we see you back here on the podium again at least some point this season. So congrats, man, on your win, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Yeah, thank you very much. Also again, GG to Justus and Dylan.
GG's, man. Good race.
And of course, we'll now move on to the Lithuanian, formerly of NSX, of course, looking to try and pick up his second win of the season. Of course, it was Justus, and Justus, you punished Alba all the way to the line. Just talk us through what happened out there out on track.
Yeah, I tried everything. I don't remember when was the last time I pushed that hard, but I was actually struggling in the final sector, so it was like the gap was like 9/10 with 1 second, so it was really difficult to close down any further. And yeah, I just on that lap when I totally lost it, I think I just took too much curb and had to counter steer to not put like my car into a wall. Yeah, it was really lucky. I actually escaped with no damage, but yeah, really well done by Alba. Pushed so hard and really great pace. I gave everything. Couldn't do much more.
Do you have a fan, by the way, in the background or something?
I'm not sure. No.
It's coming across a little bit like a crackled connection, I think. There might be a little bit of wires.
Yeah, it's the shitty headphones, so sorry for that.
That's totally fine. That is absolutely fine. Honestly, fantastic race from your perspective. But as you say, you counter-steered in that final couple laps. You lost 6 seconds, and we thought, honestly, it was down to puncture. But was it just the curb coming through turn 2?
Yeah, it was a mistake. It was puncture was nowhere near the tire is very low on this track, on the medium and especially on the hards. So the tire wear was not a problem. It's just a mistake. I pushed so hard.
Do you think without that mistake you would have tried to close Alba for the win with only 3 laps to go? I think before you made that mistake.
No, I don't think so. I would not have overtaken him on the track, and I already had the 3 seconds. So no, I don't think so. I burned my battery just to catch him. I think it was like 2 seconds before I overtook Cantera. So I had to burn everything to get close to him. I don't think so. Even without the mistakes, I would not have passed him.
Yeah, it's still a very good result from you, though, finishing, of course, 2nd position out on track. Gary, I'm going to come across to you. Any questions?
Yeah, first of all, congrats on another podium. I think it's your 2nd of the season. 2nd place again, if I'm not mistaken, as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're just that 1 place shy of winning a race this season. What do you think you need to do? What needs to happen for you to get a race win? Because you clearly have the pace. I think you were one of the quickest drivers tonight, other than Alba. So what do you need to do? What do you think you need to do yourself to actually get a race win this season?
Well, it's easy, really. Just qualify on the pole and control the race, I think. That would be like the easiest.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is the most easiest thing to say. But yeah, you drove a great race. Of course, that mistake was a little bit tainted your race a little bit, but nonetheless, it was still absolutely amazing. But was there any struggles on the tyres? Do you think when Alba was actually starting on those soft tyres and you were near the front, do you think you had a chance of maybe pushing him for a race win before that safety car? Like, he could have had a great chance to win this race if there was no safety car.
I think the second safety car also helped him a bit. I was finally getting into the rhythm on the hards. I think I was closing a bit on him. It was like 1.5 seconds the gap, and yeah, that safety car helped him. I think just a bit. I'm not sure I would have overtaken him, but I was closing in on him. So
yeah. Well, once again, man, great race. Congratulations. I'm sure that race win is going to come soon enough. So enjoy the rest of your evening.
Yeah. Thanks.
No worries.
And now we will move on to the man who was to coin Connor's phrase, an overtaking machine out on track. It was XL Dylan. And Dylan, let's just talk about that move around the outside of the hairpin first and foremost. How on earth you had the balls to complete that move is absolutely beyond me. Talk us through it.
That was an incredible move. Even in the party, I just screamed because, I mean, to overtake someone like that is not that easy, and to do it on Montana of all people, makes it extra special in my opinion. And to be honest, in the overtake, I saw him cover the inside a little bit because I was really close behind him, and I think he thought I would dive up his inside, and which made him have a compromised run for the hairpin, and I just had the superior traction on newer mediums and just drove clean round the outside of him. It was insane.
Yeah, honestly, you had the tyres to do it as well on that set of fresh medium compounded tyres. But just talk us through the rest of the race, of course, because you were probably more beneficial. Goodness me, I'm really messing up my words now. More beneficial than compared to the rest of the field going on, obviously with the 2 safety cars that came out.
Yeah, that's the case. I mean, basically, this entire race is just people getting wing damage and bunching up with each other. Like especially the second safety car, like. People had a lot of people had damage, like Verstappen, Connor. They all had damage because they had to stick behind Nathan and Quintana so closely. And I mean, I think I took this race at like 70%, and I said no warnings, no damage, just no incidents, just stay on track, and you'll get a good result. And happily, it paid off today. It was insane.
And of course, your first podium in Division 1 as well this season must feel good to finally get to that goal.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a great revenge for last season when I bottled the race win here in Division 2, and to now step on the podium at D1 is just makes it so incredible and so surreal. And there's so many other drivers here that are so much better than I am, and I didn't think this would happen in my wildest dreams.
I think honestly it was the nature of the race, how everyone picked up the wing damage, overtakes galore happening, battles galore as well. I think it was the nature of the race, and you fully deserve that podium, of course, out on track. Gary, I'm going to come across to you. Any questions?
Yeah, first of all, man, congrats on the podium. I know how much this probably means to you. Coming into last season you were in Division 2. Bit of a bottle job. You had the name bottle job. How does it feel to come into Division 2 and to perform so well? Not even just tonight, but so far the season in general. Do you feel like you've proved to people like that would banter with you or whatever? Do you think you proved them wrong a little bit and you shouldn't have this bottle tag anymore?
I think so far in the season I have, and I'm just happy to have the chance to be in D1. I thought it was going to be extremely close between D2 and D1 this season, and I think I've done enough to prove that the org's made a very good decision.
Mm-hmm. And final question is, where do you go from here now? You got a podium. That was probably your aim for the season. Is the next step a win maybe, or are you just going to try and get as many points as possible now for the rest of the season?
I think many points as possible. I think there's never going to be a chance for me to get a race win in this competitive grid, and I think the max I can hope for is maybe another podium, but that's the max. Like, if I get another podium, then D1 season will be completed, and I'll be so happy with myself.
Yeah, well, congrats, man, on the podium once again. Really, really deserved. And that move on Montana was definitely going to go straight into the overtake of the season, voting for the award of the overtake of the season. So congrats, man, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you, you too. Thanks for commentating, as always, and congrats to Alba and Justas.
Very welcome indeed, and that rounds us off then for Division 1 stream tonight. Of course, Division 2 and Division 5, as I said, run a little bit behind schedule. I think Division 3 is still going on as we speak as well, so hopefully we're going to get that. Jav, by the way, is paying the pizza on pita bread for all out of the LOE budget, it seems, in the comment section as well. So I think we'll be skint, so don't blame us if we're just down to the back and bones and we get rid of Gary next week in terms of commentary. There we are.
Oh my god! Yeah, there we are. We need to wrap this up, to be honest. I got a race now in about 2 minutes, so I'll give it to you to take it away. But yeah, great race, and Division 1 doesn't disappoint once again. I'm so happy. It's just amazing so far the season we've had. So really looking forward to next week.
Jav was never said he was pain. He is pain. I'll just leave it on that. Thank you so much for watching, of course, League of Europe Division 1. Division 2 and 5 coming up very shortly indeed. We're going to go off the air. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.